This is breaking news.
Happening now, Suffolk County Executive Steve Bellone and Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison are announcing the next phase of deployment of body-worn cameras for officers. Let's listen.
In the Suffolk County Legislature, obviously this announcement we're doing here today wouldn't be possible without their efforts. We have our presiding officer who will be saying a few words in just a moment, Kevin McCaffrey. I know our minority leader, Jason Richburg, is on his way, I understand. But we also have the deputy presiding officer, Steve Flottering, legislator Sammy Gonzalez, legislator Manny Esteban, legislator Jim Mazzarella, and legislator Stephanie Bontempi. Did anyone else slip in? Okay, got everybody. All right, good. Also from Suffolk County Police Department, we have our Deputy Commissioner Risco Mention-Lewis. Commissioner, thank you. We have Assistant Commissioner Elizabeth Dates. Great to see you. We also have with us the Inspector, Commanding Officer for Information Technology in the Police Department, Inspector William Doherty, as well. So once again, good morning, and thank you for joining us here. As many of you know, because you have reported on it, last September we began a intense, comprehensive process to reimagine policing right here in Suffolk County. Our historic police reform plan was focused on a number of critical aspects of policing, but above all else, it focused on enhancing accountability and transparency. One of the largest reforms in our plan, and this was without question the most comprehensive reform plan of any county in the state of New York. One of the largest reforms in that plan was the deployment of a body-worn camera program. There is no denying that cameras change everything by providing video and audio that allows an event to be independently verified. Our body-worn camera program will ensure that we are holding our officers to the highest standards, highlighting the good police work our officers are doing, that we know they're doing on a daily basis, and ensuring that everyone is treated justly and fairly. In short, this body-worn camera program will protect our officers, ensure accountability, and build upon the public trust. That is a win-win-win scenario. So today I'm proud to announce that beginning in July, approximately 130 officers from the 7th Precinct will be equipped with body-worn cameras in Suffolk County. The second deployment of cameras is expected to roll out at the end of the summer. In total, 1,600 Suffolk County Police Department officers will be equipped with the new technology. The county has selected Axon Enterprises as the vendor and will soon execute a 5-year agreement for $22.4 million. The county's existing, by the way, that contract, that 5-year agreement covers the cost of the purchase of the cameras, the implementation of the program, and the maintenance of the body-worn cameras and the data systems that are so critical to the program as well. The county's existing capital plan has the funds necessary to cover the full cost of that agreement. And on Tuesday, my colleagues in the legislature will take up the appropriation of the first $8 million for the implementation of the program. Officers will receive 4 hours of training on policy and procedural instruction, along with additional key information regarding the equipment and the hardware. Investigators and supervisors will also receive 2 hours of training provided by Axon specific to their roles. And the Suffolk County Police Department's most recent graduating class, we just had a wonderful ceremony where we graduated a number of officers. They received body-worn camera training at the Police Academy, which of course will now be standard in our academy training, as we'll have a couple more classes that are going to be coming up as well. There's no doubt that the use of body cameras will increase transparency and accountability in policing. Policing is a sacred duty, and the deployment of these cameras in conjunction with all of the other reforms will help deepen trust in our communities that we know is so essential to effective policing. I want to thank all of those who have made this possible, including, of course, again, my partners in the Suffolk County Legislature, and importantly, also our Police Reform Task Force co-chairs, one of whom couldn't be here, Deputy County Executive John Kamen, but very happy that Vanessa Baird-Streeter, Deputy County Executive, is here, and she really did an amazing job as part of the Police Reform Plan and as co-chair in helping to lead that historic effort. Thank you very much, Vanessa. The work of all of the participants in the task force here, the individuals behind me, that work will create a lasting legacy in Suffolk County, and I think serves as a model for other counties around the state. This is a defining time for the future of policing, not only here, but all across the country. And I'm grateful to all of those who came to the table and everyone who took part in the reform process, because they were tackling an incredibly tough challenge. And we've talked about this before. The way that we did this here, we believe is the right way, which was to bring everyone to the table, to bring everyone around that table to have the difficult conversations, because at the end of the day, that is the only way that you truly do make progress that is significant and lasting. And so we're here today to say that this police reform plan, so many elements of which have been implemented, it's not sitting on a shelf. It is actively, every day, being implemented. This work is being put to use out on the streets. And I want to thank the police department and all of my colleagues here for their efforts in helping to make that happen. With that said, I want to turn it over to our police commissioner, Rodney Harrison, and then turn it over to presiding officer to say a few words as well. Commissioner? There you are.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You got it.
So, I had an opportunity during my time frame in the NYPD to be part of a reform plan as well, and one of the things that was very instrumental was the body-worn cameras that were rolled out, and it was somewhat of the same process, and I'm excited, to be very honest with you. I'm excited to see how we're going to implement the body-worn cameras in this department and so many of the positives that could come from it going into the future. And before I go into some of those things that are going to be a game changer in this agency, I want to thank some of my partners, and Risco mentioned Lewis and her leadership. I just committed a robbery with Liz Dates and bring her from NYPD out to Suffolk County. And I got Billy Doherty, who's been working tirelessly. And Billy, you probably don't get the credit you deserve. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for all the work you're doing to make sure we get this part of the reform plan out as quickly as possible. I'm here with the legislators that are standing behind me. I'm not going to go to each name. I think the county executive gave them a nice shout out, but they've been very supportive to me, very supportive to the men and women of the police department, and last but not least, Steve Bellone, Mr. County Executive, thank you for everything you've done for this department. But just real quickly, if I could just talk about the positives, it's going to allow us as a police department, just the implementation of the body-worn cameras and having the 2,500 officers in this agency, it's going to allow us to review critical incidents and utilize that to develop training. It's going to assist in recording and documenting to help strengthen prosecution. I think that's an important role of the wearing of the body-worn cameras. It's going to be able to tell the true narrative of an incident between the men and women of Suffolk County Police Department and the community that we're here to protect and serve. The county executive talked about the improvement in transparency as well as accountability. This is important. It's going to encourage respectful interactions between the police officers and the public. And last but not least, and I think I have capitalized on talking about this every single time I'm at a podium, officers